Good morning. How you doing? It's Janet Gonzalez here. It's the morning after chemotherapy. I didn't feel like getting up today. I woke up earlier, drank a glass of water, went to the washroom, and then I went back to bed. So now it's like almost going on 11 o'clock, and I'm just getting so. I don't feel good. So I'm going to pour a couple glasses of water and get drinking some more water. So maybe we'll just sit down and do this today. I usually stand, but I don't really feel like standing up right now. I have the diffuser here, and I got some water. So we'll get the diffuser going. To put oils in your diffuser, I'm going to put some thieves in there. Thieves is a good antibacterial one, so you can put thieves. Thieves is a blend. It's made up of a few different oils, so you can put one blend in there. So I put like 2 drops. The cord stretched out, so I gotta be careful. So see, I'm just putting like 4 drops of thieves in there, and I'll put some thieves in my diffuser. Oops, throw it. And I'll put these all over my hands. And smell it. You can mix as many single oils as you would like. So I'm going to just put 1 drop of oregano, because oregano is kind of a strong smell. I don't want it to overpower it. But you can smell oregano. Put a couple drops on your hand, stir it up, go clockwise. It gets warm, heats up. Kind of hot. Lights the thieves too. Ooh, lang lang. Lang lang smells really good. It's, I think, a flower. So we'll put a couple drops of lang lang in there. And we'll smell a couple drops. Yeah, just put that on you. drops. Lemon oil. Ooh. That one's really fresh. I want my glasses. I think like my glasses interfere with my ability to smell stuff or get it on me or whatever. I don't know. Trying to find my skull. Oops, see, there goes that. Almost caught it with my elbow. So before I spill it, I'll see if I can get a drop of this German chamomile to come out. Ooh, this one is so pretty. There it comes. Maybe one drop pretty soon. There it is. Look at this stuff. Can you imagine that a plant is that blue? Probably wouldn't want to get this on your white shirt. It has an interesting odor too. It's real mild. It almost smells like like after a fire or something, like ashes. I don't know. So I'm going to set this over here and start it up. I usually have that going in the other room, but it needed to be cleaned out, so I brought it out here in the kitchen. Try some of this chamomile on my head. Maybe it'll help wake me up. I feel like I have a little tiny headache. And some more of these. I'm gonna put this on my feet. just kind of rolling it into my feet like this. You just roll it. This is like working on your spine. And I'm using this water that I spilled on the table out of the diffuser because it has all the oils in it. I'm not going to waste it. So do that. Put it right in there and roll it into your feet. Yeah, I spilled all this top of the water out of the diffuser. Now it's all the puddle of oil. So I'm just taking this puddle of oil that I spilled out of the diffuser and I'm rolling it into my feet. Because I don't really want to just wipe all this good oil up on a rag. It smells smelling like this one here. This one smells so good. This one here is very, very fresh. I really like Lang Lang. I should have put it in my diffuser. Oops. I got the drop these today. And when your bottles go empty, don't throw away the bottles. You can still smell the bottles. When I was in Egypt, they had these stones that were like 3,500 years old or 2,500 years old. They were like the pepper bowl where you grind your pepper up in, but only they would make their oils, lotus oil, in these bowls. And all these years later, you can still smell the lotus oil in that stone. So I don't know that glass really absorbs the oil, but if there's any amount of oil still in the jar, you can always use it for smelling. So don't ever throw away your empty bottles. You can just even leave them sitting open in your room. I don't know if they completely dry out, but if you can still smell it, then that serves a purpose, because aromatherapy, that's what it is. It's smelling these oils. It's always all over the bottles too, because you handle them with your oily fingers. So the bottles always smell really good. She worked on my hand yesterday, but it's still a little puffy. Probably not as bad as it could be. As you can still see, this looks good. To get this out, oh my gosh, it's such a gentle touch. If you got to move your lymphatic fluid, it is not a rough massage. It's a very gentle massage. You just wipe it really easy, and that's what drains lymphatic fluid. I always want to just go like I can just shove it out, but it doesn't work like that. You have to be gentle with lymphatic system. And it doesn't necessarily matter if it's elevated or not, is not really helping it. See, my hand is really puffy. My hands are always like stiff in the morning. So exercise, do some stretches on your little hands. You know, just get them working, do things with them. Not always repetitive things, you know, like you just want to change it up a little bit, you know, move your hands around in ways that you don't typically move them around, like holding a mouse. You really lock your hand up. Take some Amplify. Amplify is from Care. It's like an anti-aging one, antioxidant. It's good for your skin. Amplify. Amplify your life. I don't have my glasses. Oh, I can't hold still either. I'm having a hard time holding still. It's a little bouncy. Joint promotion. That'll help your hands keep moving. Do a little joint promotion. Keep those fingers lubricated. All the joints. Helps grow back cartilage. Helps keep them properly lubricated. This is also an Care product. Joint promotion. Anybody want some? And some Catalyst. Take me two. I can't take too many Catalysts because it'll start giving me cramps. But I know I could take two Catalysts. It says to take three, but three seems like I'll get a cramp in my leg. These are branch chain amino acids. These will feed your muscles. So you want to protect your muscles so that you have strength. If you're on a low calorie diet, just because you can't eat much, you want to still protect your muscles. So take some Catalyst. L-glutamine. L-glutamine will grow all your cells back inside your mouth, inside your throat, the palms of your hands, the bottom of your feet, the lining of your stomach, the lining of your intestines. That's what happens when you do chemo. It strips down all your good, fast-growing cells, and you have to grow those back. So L-glutamine is the ticket for keeping your mouth free of sores. So if you see a sore coming up in your mouth, sometimes you see people, they have sores on the palms of their hand or the bottoms of their feet get really tender. But it's because that chemo just kills all those cells. I'm tired. Take some salt on this. I'm gonna refill this glass. Don't make me a sparky spark. I won't feel like going back to bed, but I doubt it. I think working midnights. Last week I had to work midnight shift, and then I had to stay up all day yesterday. I'm a little tired. put a drop of lemon in here? Or 2 or 3? It just came shooting out. I'm gonna put some on my forehead. I don't want to use up all the lemon oil. This wants to come out today though. I'm just gonna hold some lemon oil on my head and see if it gets rid of my little tiny headache. I had a dream about something. What the heck was it? It's like it had to do with, oh, I got my iPhone back. That's right. I had a dream that the UPS guy came and he brought me my new phone. And it was in a great big box. And I was like, wow, that's an awful big box for a little bitty iPhone. So I opened it up and my iPhone was bigger than my laptop computer screen. It was like this big. The icons on it were the size of my old iPhone. Like every icon was like this big. I was like, wow, this is a big phone. Oh my goodness. First I had the iPhone 5S, so it was kind of a small phone. And I guess I'm just imagining that the next phone is going to be very big. Like huge. And I had a dream the other day that me and Christy went to Florida. We were down in Florida, had vacation for 2 weeks, and then we were gonna fly home, and we were like, well, I told Christy, I'm like, why do we gotta get tickets to fly home? You know, like, you don't have to work. I'm on vacation. Why don't we just get tickets from here and fly to Mexico? So we were like, okay. So we got tickets from Florida and went to Mexico. Oh, we stayed there for 2 weeks. Oh man. Yeah, so me and Christy and Courtney. Oh, and Courtney had this great idea because we have to diffuse, you know, like the clay. It was kind of a lot of clay, but she made this thing that was like a wedge shape. Like if you sat it down, it was slanted like this. It was about this thick of clay, and it was shaped like if those door stopper, you know, like if you kick one of those wedges under your door. So it was like this wide and about this thick, and then if you sat it down on the table, it just came down. And she had it painted with the glazes. It was already like fired once, I guess, because now she had the glazes on it, and it needed to be fired again. But it was so beautiful. But what she was going to use it for is just sitting on the table, this beautiful stone, because it's what kind of turns into is stone, and drawing on it. She's going to use that for like just having it there on an angle so that she could just draw. And it would be really heavy and beautiful. Like that thing wasn't going nowhere. I think I was like, Courtney, I said, Courtney, I said, did you use all the clay to make this thing? I'm like, it's awful thick. I'm like, I sure hope this doesn't explode in the kiln. So I was thinking maybe I need to dry this thing first. So I said I think we better wait a couple weeks before you put that thing in the kiln to make sure that it's dry. I'm like maybe we need to put that in the oven at 100 for a few hours to dry it out before you put it in the kiln because I just couldn't see how this giant slab of clay was ever going to dry enough to put it in the kiln. But it was a great idea, though. I think it needed to be hollowed out. I'll help her improve it. If she is at home making something like that, I'm gonna talk her into like hollowing it out a little bit. It was so pretty though. I'm like, what a great idea. It was just such a big slab. And the way she had it painted was just amazing, beautiful. It's like I seen it like after it was fired, but because all the glaze was already really beautiful. But I might, like in reality, I don't know. Like none of this is reality because it's all in a dream. It was already fired, but I was going through all the process of before it being before it got fired. I don't know. Anyway, it was just a dream. Dreams are a little bit forward and backwards. So Christy was there, and she's trying to help me figure out how to program my cell phone, my gigantic cell phone, and all the icons are over here on the side. And she was like, it's got all this space down here. I'm not kidding. This cell phone was like this big. She's like, it was almost like a big screen TV. I'm not big cell phone in the world. She's like, they should have just took all these icons. I don't know why they put them all up there because they made them so that they stuck there. You couldn't really rearrange them. She's like, they should have been down along the bottom and they could have been this big. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Courtney and Christy, they seem to be in my dreams a lot. Yeah, they're around a lot. I see George all the time too, but most of the time it seems like when I dream about Georgie, he's a little kid. He's like 4 years old. Uh, Sometimes I have dreams that Georgie's like 4 years old, but all his friends are the right age. They're the same age that they are now, but Georgie's just a little kid. So I have this vegan shake I'm going to do. This one is from AvoCare. I don't know, but I don't think that AvoCare sells the vegan shakes anymore. So I had these are over at my friend's house, so little by little I've been drinking all the shakes I gave him. I'll just get him some protein shakes that are made out of other protein. Well, I have to get some vegan shakes from somewhere else. The Dr. Schultz shakes are vegan. Um, what else? I had some other product. It's a vegan product. Most of Dr. Schultz stuff is vegan because he don't believe in eating meat when you're sick. He might not believe in eating meat ever, but especially when you're sick, he's like, you don't have to give it up forever, but you need to give it up for a little while. I have this Exodus. I'm gonna have to read about this one. What it's about. Let's smell this one. You can look up any of these oils on Young Living website and read about them. It smells like, I don't know. At first it reminded me of something, but I couldn't really quite catch that memory. And this other stone, I know I never mentioned this very much. I might have talked about it in one of my videos, but this is just a stone that puts off negative ions so that it kind of like balances. we get bombarded by so many positive ions all the time that's what your salt rocks do, those salt lamps. They put off negative ions. A deionizer, people run deionizers in their house to take out some of the positive ions in the atmosphere around you. So that's what this stone does. It just puts out some negative ions so that it kind of balances the ions around you. I have a salt lamp in my kitchen that I plugged in the day I got it. It's been plugged in ever since. It's just on all the time. It's just really pretty pink salt rock about this big. I don't know like how much area they cover or if it blows around or like I didn't really investigate a whole lot about it. It just puts off a really pretty glow, so it's good enough to qualify it to stay as that it's pretty and it serves a purpose. And I do not like the sound of these two touching. It is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Listen to this. I don't know. When they start clanking together, I can't handle it. That's why I've been wearing this one really high. Get my thieves right up here on my throat so it can absorb in. You can smell this thing all day. We got all those diffusers. I wonder if Sherry's got the necklace parts on them. Now I know some more people that want one, so I hope that little project comes together quick. I'm gonna try some Exodus on my head. Something's gonna get rid of this headache. Maybe X. Give yourself a little neck massage, whatever you could reach. If you can't reach your neck, just massage anything you can reach. If you can reach your hands, then just give your hands a rub, you know. If only one hand works, then just use that hand to touch things, like whatever you could touch with it. When I had all that surgery over here, I couldn't even really move at all. So I would just kind of touch the other hand a little bit, and then I could reach and touch my leg a little bit, and then everything that I could touch, I would put oil on it. And I was putting oil like all around here, so the scar, like barely even scarred. You can't feel it. You can see a little white line, but there's no like roughness to it. There's no thickness to it. And I really kind of contribute that a lot to the oils because that's what I was using on it when it was healing. I didn't put the oils right on the exact stitches because it was like super glued shut. And I didn't want the oils to take the glue off, so I just put it around. Yeah, see, so that Exodus on my skin, it feels spicy. That's what it's kind of reminding me of, is the smell of some kind of a pepper. Maybe the Dr. Schultz cayenne pepper tincture, because it has every kind of pepper in it. Rub your jaw. Sometimes we clench our teeth at night and stuff. Just give your jaw a massage. Your face. Go for a facial. Oh my gosh. Go for somebody that really knows how to do a good facial. They will massage your scalp, your arms. It's like, I didn't know that a facial would include my arms and my neck and my chest. People that are really good at it, they don't just massage the top of your scalp like this and you're done. Or just give your face a couple little rubs. They put like creams on it and then they steam it and then they buff it. I've only done that once in my life, but that's what rubbing my face reminds me of is the day I got a facial. So there's actually an oil concoction that you can make to help your hair grow back. Specific oils that helps your hair grow back. I used it. My girlfriend gave me the recipe, so I made that oil and I put that oil on my head, that specific concoction, every day when I was bald headed. Because sometimes you'll get missing a patch or something, like it just doesn't want to grow back. But the oils, putting it on my skull every day, I'm pretty sure like every hair I had before is back, except for the ones I used to pluck. Now those poor little hairs didn't make it back. All my eyebrows that I used to pluck out, I haven't touched my eyebrows since my hair grew back. And this has been like a year or something I've had hair. But my eyebrows, you know how I used to get them crazy ones in there, the really long ones, the thick ones, and you're always like yanking them out, yanking them out. Well, after chemotherapy, those never came back. So things that you've plucked out of your body over and over and over, they don't have the strength to make it back after chemotherapy. I think that the chemo actually kills that follicle. So now my eyebrows are still, they're pretty thin. They're not missing any hairs except for the ones I plucked out. The ones that used to grow right here never grew back. The ones that were over here never grew back. This is, in my eyelashes, they didn't really come back that good either. I would say that my eyelashes are very short. Yeah, I really can't even, like if I put mascara on, it's so shoddy looking. It's better for me just to wear eyeliner and don't try to put stuff on my eyelashes too much. If I put on makeup, because it looks all spread out and like the eyelashes are far apart. I suppose I could use fake eyelashes, but could you imagine peeling off your real good eyelashes? Like if you peel those things off and it rips out some of your good ones that you've been trying to grow back for so long. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. So this is what it's like the next day after chemotherapy. Just don't feel too good. You try to feel good. You gotta try to do stuff to make yourself feel better. Like smile. Like if I smile instantly I feel better. I can see my eyes look really tired. Drink your ginger tea if you're feeling nauseated. I'm not feeling nauseated today. I'm going to make this shake. You know, part of what's going to make you feel better is getting food in your body. Yeah, this Exodus one. This is a spicy one, man. It's burning my face up. Feels hot. So if you want to feel good, you got to get food in your body. So even if it's just slowly sit there and drink your water. Drink your ginger tea. Smell some oils. Take your time. Spend 1 hour out of 24 on yourself. It's the 23-to-1 ratio, or is that what it is? A 23-to-1 ratio? 23 hours for everybody else, 1 hour for yourself. You're worth it. You're worth an hour. You're worth 60 minutes. You could do 2 hours. You know, after this, maybe you could go meditate, do some yoga, do some stretches. Try not to go back to bed. I'm fighting that urge right now. I really want to go back to bed. Going back to bed is not going to help me get better, though. It smells good in here with that diffuser going. And you know, like breathing that is getting in your system, healing things in your body. Because these things are all anti-inflammatory, they're anti a lot of things. Antibacterial, antimicrobacterial. So especially if you've had surgery, you definitely want to incorporate some antibacterial things into your life, like some probiotics. I don't have any probiotics here today, but you probably really, really need to be taking probiotics, no matter what phase of the process or life, or even if you're not sick, if you don't want to get sick, take probiotics. Like we don't take, at our house, it's pretty rare for anybody to take antibiotics. I think I've only taken antibiotics a couple times in my life. Like 10 years ago, we discovered probiotics because of AboCare. So we've been on probiotics ever since. And I'll see my kids if they get, like they can't go poop too good. Hey mom, where's the probiotics at? I need to take some probiotics. Because they know that the probiotics will get their bowels moving out. Or if they start getting a little cold or something, hey mom, where's the probiotics? They're always in the same place. So I don't know why they ask me where they're at, because all you gotta do is look in the cabinet. And the probiotics are in there. I usually have probiotics from AboCare. I get probiotics from the North Shore Infusion, and I also got this other probiotic online that has like 15 different kinds of bacteria in it. So we have, you know, choices of what probiotic to take, and they all do kind of work a little different in your system, but they're all there for the same good cause, to win the battle on infections. So if you have infections in your body, probiotics are what you need to be taking to get rid of those infections. Infections don't go away with antibiotics. You know, I'm sure that, you know, it'll beat down all the bacteria in your body. So you have to replenish your good bacteria. Some bacteria is like bifidobifidum. I think it's called bifidobifidum. That one, it gets in your system through your mother's milk. So if you're not breastfeeding, then you're not really getting that bacteria. And if you've killed off your bifidobifidum, then you're done. You're not going to get it in your system unless you take it in a supplement. I'm pretty sure it's that one. That one comes in on your mother's milk. So take your probiotics. They're never going to hurt you. Don't overkill on it. Just take 2 a day. They have Avocare's probiotics, has the food right in the capsule that the bacteria lives on. So it guarantees like the bacteria will have something to thrive on once it gets down into your intestinal tract. And all that stuff comes springing back to life. It's like them little sea monkeys, you know? You get those little sea monkeys and you put them in water, and what do you know? It's like, oh, there's little sea monkeys swimming around in there. How did those little sea monkeys come out of this little dry powder? Like, how did anybody figure out how to package a sea monkey and send it to your house in the mail when you're a little kid, and then you put it in water, and then you have all these little things swimming around in the water? They look like seahorses. Those little sea monkeys, they look like seahorses. So I'd imagine that's the same thing that they do with these probiotics. They're just like freeze-dried little sea monkeys, and then you pop them into your belly, and that's where they spring to life down in your intestines. And they come in with the food that they eat to guarantee that you can establish a colony. So it's what you need to be doing. You need to be establishing some good colonies of good bacteria to help fight infections. You know, you're doing chemotherapy, you're wiping out your blood, your white blood cells are not what they used to be. They need some help, they need some backup, because you do not want to catch an infection and you don't have the white blood cells to go in. And what white blood cells do, they attack things that don't belong in your system. If you don't have any white blood cells, I guess that's not going to be happening for you. So you better be taking some probiotics. Mm-mm. Courtney wants me to cut all my hair off and start over. Stretch. Stretch your arms out. Do some little circles. I'm not real ambitious today. I'm sitting down. I don't know why this is like the first day. I just don't feel like standing today. And just sit up straight and like try to get your posture. Because I could even, like, looking at these videos, I see that this shoulder is always down all the time. So that's something I really need to start focus on, is sitting up straight, using my back muscles, using my stomach muscles, just to sit. Try not to sit like slouched over. Because the more that you sit up straight, the more oxygen that you could get in your body. That's what Sheila works on me with at the clinic doing yoga stuff, is stretching all the muscles out by just like leaning to the side and then breathing and letting your breath stretch those muscles. Lean to the side and breathe and let that breath stretch those muscles. And then holding the pies, where you got the pies like you're holding like this, but it's down here, and opening up your chest so that you could get some deep breathing. I guess I could stand up a little bit. Quit being a big baby. Ooh, oh, yeah. Okay, so you want to stand, hold the pies like this. And it just like brings your shoulders back, opens up this chest area. Got lots of crazy designs on. These are my leggings. They come up nice and high. So when you're doing your deep breathing, you just You want this part to rise and fall, not this. So that's how you do your deep breathing. You do deep breathing by breathing deep into the bottom lobes of your lungs. You see the fingers like spread out? That's the one way that you could judge if you're breathing in the right place. Hold them pies, even if you have to. Put a pie, put something in each hand to make you hold it. You know what I mean? If you're not holding it right, they're gonna fall out of your hands. So this is what she means by holding pies. You know, you got something in your hands, you know, that gets you in the right position. When you got your diffuser going, get some of that breathing. Breathe over that diffuser. It smells so good. So if you want to breathe some good stuff into your lungs, you know, breathe this into your lungs. And then when you inhale things, that gets out into your system really super fast. That's why people sniff paint. That's why they smoke cigarettes. That's why they smoke pot. That's why they snort coke or whatever you do to get it in your respiratory system. But, you know, like get some good stuff going in your respiratory system. You know, it's like you don't mind when all that garbage gets in there. You should just not mind when some of this good stuff gets in there. You're driving along, you're in all that traffic, breathing exhaust, that displaces the oxygen, like the hemoglobins, whatever it is. When a carbon monoxide gets in your bloodstream, it displaces oxygen. So when you get away from all that, take opportunity to get the oxygen back in your system. When you're killing off all your blood, you know, that's a lot less oxygen that your body has to work with because now you don't have nearly that much blood. So you want to, whatever blood that you do have, you need to load it up. Let's sit back down. So you want to load your oxygen up as much as you can on the blood that you have. And that'll probably help you grow more blood. And the green stuff. Drink superfood, wheatgrass, barley grass. They have chlorella supplements, little tiny green ones. Those are really loosen up your stools. So you're supposed to take one for every 10 pounds of your body weight. So you just gotta work your way up to it though. Just take two, then take three of like some green stuff if you take it in a tablet form. But don't worry about it. If you get the diarrhea, then you could drink some fiber. When you drink some fiber, you gotta drink it with a lot of water. And then that will slow that diarrhea down. You just don't want to be constipated. What diarrhea is better than constipation, but it's not good for you because you'll get dehydrated if you're not drinking enough water. Like if you've been constipated for a long time and you start doing some Dr. Schultz formula number 1 to get that constipation block out of your intestines, it ain't gonna hurt you to let that flow for a couple of days. Do not take Imodium. Do not make it stop. Drink fiber. Fiber will get it under control. Fiber and probiotics. There's no reason why you should take Imodium. That stuff, I don't know how the heck that works, but it just can't be good. Because all of a sudden you can't poop and you're back at square one again. And you're really trying hard to be able to go poo and have it normal. Like this consistency of toothpaste is good. You don't want to have hard and you don't want to have runny. But that's how you regulate your bowels is with probiotics. You can take Dr. Schultz slimy fiber. It won't hurt your stomach. It won't hurt your intestines. When it gets wet, it gets like real slimy. So it's very soothing to your intestines. It's very soothing to the lining of your stomach. It's very soothing to your when you're going poo. You know, it's not hurting you. So that would be things you need to have in your cabinet all the time through this whole process because you don't want to be regulating everything that goes on with your body with more drugs. It's drugs on top of drugs on top of drugs is destroying your liver. Your liver cannot handle all them drugs. It's doing the best job that it can do to neutralize all the chemo drugs in the first place because that's what your liver does. It finds dangerous items, neutralizes them, and makes them harmless to your body. Well, when you overtax your liver, next thing you know it, all those dangerous things are getting into your system because your liver just can't handle that overload. So you don't want to take an ibuprofen. Like right when I woke up before I had a little headache. Well, now that I drank a couple of glasses of water and I had a spark, and now I got a little bit of food in me. I rubbed oils on my head. I breathed some oils, did some deep breathing, and the headache is gone. But I do got to blow my nose. So hang on there. All right. So here's the scoop on the poop. Try and get this organized. Everything that will make your bowels function properly. Number one is water. Drinking water first thing in the morning cleanses out your kidneys. The water absorbs, it goes out into your system, it reabsorbs into your large intestine, softening poo and eliminating waste. So when you drink your water first thing in the morning, the next thing you would be doing is going poop because that's what water does. So if that's not working, just drinking your water, you need to be taking probiotics. Probiotics also help keep things because it's a live bacteria. So it's in your intestines and it's moving around. And so because that's moving, it keeps things moving. And I'm sure that every time you go to the washroom, you're losing some of your good bacteria, probably a lot of bad bacteria. And you don't want to keep that poo in your body longer than it needs to be in there because it only serves a purpose to nourish your body and then it gets eliminated as waste. So you need to be eliminating that waste like after every big meal, you should actually be going poo. They said that Dr. Schultz, if you listen to his blogs, he said he went and he lived with people who had very pure diets, like out in the jungles and stuff. He said after every big meal, they went to the bathroom, and he realized that Americans take 70,000 less poos in their lifetime than what they should be taking. 70,000. So 70,000 poos per person are in your body, getting rancid, reabsorbing out into your system because you didn't eliminate waste every day. Going to poo every 3 days is not normal. It may be normal for you, but it is not healthy for you. It's not healthy for anybody. You wouldn't expect your dog to not take a dump every day, right? Oh, I'm only going to walk my dog every 3 days. No, you need to be going. If you haven't gone poo in 3 days, you need to get an enema or something. You need to clean that gut out. And if that's been going on for years and years and years, that's a lot of toxic waste. It's stuck in your body. And you need to learn about it. You need to learn about your body and how your body functions. And I think what first got me interested in learning my body systems is because at work, I learned all these systems. I learned like the cooling water system. I learned the cold flow system. I learned the gas path system. I learned the airflow, combustion, whatever. I learned all these different systems at work. And then I was like, I know all these systems at work, hundreds of systems, but I don't even know how my own body functions. So then I'm like, so if I can learn all those systems, I should easily be able to learn all the systems in my body, like my blood system, my lymphatic system, my digestive system, my urinary tract system. Like, what makes all these things tick? What do my kidneys do? I'm always changing filters at work. What about the filters in my body? How do I change those filters? It's like you really don't change those filters, but you do have to clean them out. So you have to do like oil changes on your body, and that's what doing a detox is. Like getting off of everything. Like if I was going to do a detox, I wouldn't take any of my supplements. I would probably still do the oils, but the supplements, I wouldn't be on supplements. I wouldn't take any vitamins. I wouldn't take any supplements. The only thing that I do take is the catalyst because my muscles seem to get really gelled if I don't take some kind of something to protect my muscles. But you come off of everything. You don't eat bread, you just eat juice. Like mostly if you're on a really good detox, you'll just be doing juicing. So during that process, the chemicals have an opportunity to come out of your body because you're not adding more chemicals and making your liver do more work. So your liver actually has an opportunity to clean up and unplug. Liver gallbladder cleanses, if you do them right, you'll get the stones out of your gallbladder and you'll get the stones out of your liver because stones originate in your liver and they get deposited into your gallbladder, and then your gallbladder, if it doesn't get a rush, like if it doesn't get called to like really dump a lot of bile into your small intestine, then the stones can't pass out because it's just opening up a little bit and putting a little bit of bile in there because they kind of go by like how much grease you eat, and if you're on a low fat diet, no fat diet, eating everything low fat, no fat, then you really don't need to use your gallbladder for much of anything, so the stones just pile up in there. So when you do a good liver gallbladder cleanse, you're going to be drinking some oil, some olive oil. Dr. Schultz, you add a tablespoon, next day 2 tablespoons, next day 3 tablespoons. He'll, like direct you on how to, if you read the book, if you're doing the Incurables program, you'll be doing some enemas to get that intestinal tract cleaned out. The first thing that you want to do is a bowel detox, just to make sure that your bowels are cleaned out and they are flowing so that when your liver does dump all this poison into your small intestines, that it can get eliminated. You don't want to dump it somewhere else, and now you got the problem there. So you got to clean all those systems up in order. If you want, you could start with no matter what, you start with a bowel detox. Then you could do a kidney bladder detox. So now you know that your bowels and your kidneys are functioning really good. You can start hit your liver, because the liver, when you detox your liver, that one's rough because that one has a lot of toxins. That one pulls a lot of toxins out of your body. And then once you clean that liver up and it can really start cleaning up the blood in your body, you feel terrible. It's like you think that you would feel really good, but the process itself is very sickening because we're used to having chemicals in our body that don't belong there. Our bodies function on chemicals. You're popping ibuprofens every day. You're doing chemotherapy, and they really highly don't suggest you doing charcoal while you're on chemotherapy because it'll pull out all your chemo drugs. But if you know that you're going to go into chemotherapy, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do all these detoxes before you go to chemotherapy. You might not even need chemotherapy once you clean up all your organs. Your body can do a pretty fine job of cleaning itself up if you keep your organs clean. So when you're detoxing your liver, you add another tablespoon and another tablespoon, and up to 5 days. Now you got like 5 tablespoons of oil in this drink. And then it gives you like this part of your back right over here, the whole time that your liver and your gallbladder is overworked, because that's what these products do. They make your body flush. You do a process during the day that doesn't allow any bile to be necessary. So what happens is you're building up bile in your liver, and you're building up bile like your little gallbladder is like a little storage chamber of bile, so that if you eat some greasy stuff, then it comes through the gallbladder into your small intestine. So the diet that you're on will create a back pressure in your liver. Then when you drink that oil, all of a sudden your gallbladder's like, oh, there's a little bit of oil here, so it'll dump its bile. And then it's like, oh, there's a whole bunch more oil here, so then the liver starts delivering bile. And they were like, your liver will practically turn itself inside out to deliver enough bile to break down all that oil. And in that mad rush, everything opens up and the stones can come out of your gallbladder. I actually seen ultrasounds when I was down in Mexico, because they do liver gallbladder cleanses down there. And this girl had an ultrasound of her gallbladder, and it was like her little gallbladder packed full of stones. And then we went to get an ultrasound after we did the program. I didn't do an ultrasound before. I only did one after, because, I went with her. She's like, well, I'm going to go get an ultrasound on my organs and see how well my gallbladder got cleaned out, because she already had the pictures from before. So I'm like, okay, well, the doctor sent me to go too. So we get these ultrasounds done. When the doctor was looking at my gallbladder, she kept saying, your gallbladder is perfect. Your gallbladder is perfect. And then she looked at my liver. She's like, oh my gosh, your liver is perfect. Your liver is perfect. So she checked every single organ, and they were all cleaned out. But down there in Mexico, it's a 7-day, well, it really takes like 10 days, very intensive program of cleaning out your liver and your gallbladder and your intestines. They don't mess around. That's in El Grullo, Mexico, at Dar Naturalistic Clinic, the Calamus program. If you're sickly, you should go for that Calamus program. That thing will clean out your organs. You will feel fresh when you leave there. Yeah, so when we looked at her ultrasound, her gallbladder that was packed full of stones, it only had 6 little stones left laying like along the bottom edge of it. So the doctor was like, that's good for now, leave those little 6 stones alone, and like in another 6 months or a year, we could do this again. So, a few little stones, they're going to be, they're not going to hurt you, but when your gallbladder is packed full of stones, it's like when a garden hose, if you had marbles in your garden hose and you're trying to run water through it, the bile can barely get through all them stones. So that is something that you really need to consider doing, is a liver gallbladder cleanse. Dr. Schultz has liver gallbladder cleanses that are 5-day cleanses made to be done while you're working. I would suggest, if you've never done it before, just do it while you're not working, so that you can focus on making your drinks and making your teas. And when you get good at doing detoxes, you can do it while you're working. But if you've never done it before, it does take some reading, and you gotta go shopping. You gotta get your ingredients to make your juices. You don't have to make juices that are through a juicer. Probably better if you did that. But if you only have a blender, then just blend it. And then the drink that he gives you, like with the ginger root in it, that one, I was putting that in my blender. And then I just siphoned out, and like I put it through a strainer, the ginger, because it has all them big sticks in it. So no matter how much you blend it, it just seems to have sticks in it. Maybe if I use my Ninja, that would blend it better than the blender that I used last time. But I would say that you would want to strain that a little bit if you just have a regular blender. And those drinks are rough going down, so sometimes my kids will be like cheering me on, come on, Mom, you can do it, you can do it. I'm like, oh. So I did it, and I think that I came out of this whole process pretty healthy. It wasn't a one-step
process. It wasn't like I could just go do one thing and I was all better. I just didn't get better as fast as I expected that I would get better because I spent 45 years trashing my body, eating whatever, drinking Dr. Pepper. We luckily didn't get raised on McDonald's. You know, when I was a kid, we ate every meal at home. My mom made breakfast, lunch, and supper. But when I got older, then all of a sudden McDonald's came into existence when I was like 7 or 8 or something. So after that, when I was 20s and 30s and whatever, I ate McDonald's a lot. It didn't make me feel like throwing up. Now, if I try eating it after I've done a bunch of detoxes, whew, that stuff is brutal. So I guess this is 1 hour. If you spent 1 hour on yourself, like sit down and have breakfast with a friend. If I'm your friend, then just have breakfast with me, and your breakfast will be some water and maybe a spark, your ginger tea, a vegan shake, some oils. My headache is gone, so that didn't take too long to get rid of a headache. It just took a little bit of water, some food. I rubbed a bunch of different oils on my head. The one oil is Exodus, is still making my face red. I'm gonna read the label on that one. I think it's got pepper in it. I think I rubbed cayenne pepper on my face. Let's see here. These things, if you peel the label back, it's got information in there. Ingredients. Well, I need light. These ingredients aren't easy to see. Well, I think with the spicy one that's in here is cinnamon. That might be the one that was hot. And the other one is that curcumin. Curcumin. Yeah, this is so very teensy tiny. I'd have to take a picture of it and blow it up to be able to see it. Even with glasses on, I can't see it. But I do see cinnamon, and that's probably what spiced up my face. So if you see your bottles of oil, they have this little sticky label, and you can peel the label back, and on the inside of the label, it gives you the ingredients. Boing. I don't know, maybe you could blow it up and see it if I could get my fingers out of the way. So most blended of oils, and they also have like a little sight glass on them right here, so you could look in there to see like how much oil you have in your bottle. But sometimes it's kind of hard to see how much oil is in your bottle because they're really dark bottles, and it's to preserve the life of the oil. And then those labels, they just stick down like that. If I could see, that would be a really useful feature. but it is kind of nice having the sight glass on the side so that you can see how much oil is in your bottle. And what I do with my oils, when I get down to the last drops, yeah, because see, this is a little sight glass right here. When you close it, it goes over that same little clear spot. So right here, you should be able to see how much oil's in your bottle. When I get down to where there's only like 2 or 3 drops left in the bottle, then I refill the bottle with olive oil, some organic olive oil, or you could put V6 oil in there, and then reuse it. You could put a roller ball on it. They sell these roller balls that you pop in there, and I think that you see me once in a while with my Joy. Oh, I feel so joyful because I put on my Joy. And Joy has a really, really beautiful smell to it. But you could put roller balls on these like Stress Away. If you buy a kit from Young Living, they'll give you a bottle of Stress Away in the bottom of the box. You lift it out, and then there's some surprises underneath there for you. And one of them is a bottle of Stress Away and a roller ball. And then you can put that roller ball in your Stress Away. You take the plastic, be really careful because you don't want to spill it. But you take the little plastic cap out. This cap right here comes out, and then the roller ball goes in, and then they give you a new black cap that you could screw onto that, and you screw it down really tight, and that pops that roller ball into place. And then when you use it, when you open it up, it's a roller ball, and you just use it like roll it on. Any one of these bottles, you can turn them into roller balls. If you wanted to have Lang Lang, who is a roller ball, when this Lang Lang gets down to where there's nothing really left in it, right now it's to here. But when it gets all the way down to here, I'm going to refill this with some oil and put a roller ball on it. So that's kind of how I know which ones of mine are mixed with some regular olive oil, is I'll pop the roller ball on, and it's still just as strong. And then you can use it as like a perfume. I don't want to call it a perfume because it really does not keep smelling because it absorbs into your body, but it sure smells good for a couple of minutes. You know, to you. Other people can smell it on you, but it's not the kind of smell that turns people off. See, like the oregano and everything that I put on my hands earlier, I'm not really smelling that oregano anymore because that's what you want, is you want these things to absorb into your body. You could even eat them. Like, I don't really think about putting Lang Lang in my mouth, but oregano you could put in your mouth. Lemon you could put in your mouth. Thieves for sure you could put in your mouth. Thieves will numb your mouth. See, this one here barely has any thieves left in it. Watch. Ooh, after 3 or 4. Thieves is hot. It's really hot. It's got cinnamon and cloves and reminds me of Thanksgiving. Keep it out of reach, children. Clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary. It's a lot of smoking ones, a lot of hot. So now it makes my lips a little numb. So I kind of burn it back in my tonsils a little bit. This tonsil over here seems to have something going on with it. So maybe it needed to get burned out by a little thieves. Because when she was doing this massage on me yesterday, I could feel this tonsil was like choking me. So that's when she was doing the lymphatic drainage. She did something. She's like, okay, so this might be a little choky. And she did something over here with my throat, but I could feel the tonsil on the side. Yeah, 'cause like even when you tap on it, I could feel something going like this. Like there's just a little something something going on. So that's why you want to do your thieves. Drip it right in your mouth. Let it take care of things. You can mix it with some other oil so it's not so hot. You can put it in some olive oil. Don't be afraid to take some oils. Oils will always trigger your liver to do some work. Then you want your liver to clean up. Then you want your liver to cleanse your blood. You know, and these things just help cleanse your blood too. Takes probably a little of the stress off of your liver. I haven't really noticed anything going on with my liver. I had a liver ache when I was younger. I had this ache across the whole top of here, you know, and I was like, what the heck is that big area that hurts in my body, you know? So then I looked at the body book and I seen that that whole area was my liver. So I stopped drinking margaritas. I think that's what was giving me a liver ache. I would have all this salt on these margaritas, and I'm like, oh, I just love the salt. I'm like a salt junkie. So I had to give that up when I was in my maybe 30s. So finish drinking your shake. Drink another glass of water. I might as well just drink another glass of water right now. And I don't know if you can see like the improvement in my whole body from the beginning of this video until now. And we spent 1 hour and 22 minutes taking care of ourselves. Took me a little bit longer this morning to take care of myself because I just really didn't feel too good when I first woke up. But an hour later, I feel pretty good. I didn't go back to bed. I didn't cave in and go back to bed feeling like terrible. I stayed up and I drank my water and I took care of myself, and now I don't feel like going back to bed. I feel like I can actually have a productive day today. I wish I would have brought something to paint. Oh, my painting is coming out so beautiful. I wish I had it here. I would show you. The one with the cattails and the sunset in the background that I started a long time ago. I feel like it's been forever since I worked on it. So I painted the cattails. And then it's like, okay, so it's a sunset, some water, and cattails. And it looks very beautiful. So I decided, I'm like, I'm going to put a water bird in here. So I got out the computer and looked up some water birds. I wanted one of those big white ones. And then I seen this water bird that has red over his eye. He's got a big long yellow beak and he's got red over his one eye, or his side, like the little band around his face is red. And it's side view, so it's just one eye. And then he is basically white, but he has a little black down by his tail, and his little legs are orange and yellow and stuff. Oh my word, it looks like a decal. I painted him on my painting. He looks like a decal. I can't believe, like, I had some serious talent when it comes to painting. I amazed myself. I'm like, I don't know why I'm surprised. I should know that this is how I paint, but it just surprises me. Like every painting that I do, it just amazes me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I kicked it out because this is not what I do for a living. It's just what I've started to do to kind of help me through the chemo days is painting. So it just amazes me. So I will show you my little bird when I get back home. When we do our video tomorrow, I'll be at home and I'll remember to get that painting and show it to you. So Ho'apanapano. I feel like saying Happy New Year for some reason. It's a new life. It's a fresh life. It's a different way of doing things. It's a different way of viewing things. And I know that everybody doesn't think that this is for them. So, but there are people who really want to cut through the chase and see how to live through chemotherapy. Because chemotherapy itself can kill you if you don't do things to counter every side effect. So these are some of the things that I do to counter the side effects of chemotherapy. And I don't like, see, now I'm getting antsy about sitting here, so I'm ready to get up and move around. I think I need to clean the stove. Or sweep the floor or vacuum or something. Because I didn't bring anything to paint, so I'm going to have to clean something. So ho'oponopono, that means I love you. It means thank you. It means I'm sorry. And it means please forgive me. If I've said anything to offend you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I hope that this helps. These videos help. I really, really want to help some people to be healthy. And then when you get out of chemotherapy, by the time you come out of chemotherapy, you have a different style of living and a different style of diet, a different view of how important you are in the world and that you matter in the world, that we were not just, our lives matter. You touch lives that you don't even know that you touch. Like the people that you think should be affected the most by your existence may not be the people who are affected the most by your existence. So don't worry about that. You just exist and you make up hobbies for yourself and you smile and you talk to people. We're made for relationships. And I don't mean like a boyfriend, wife kind of relationship. That's not, we have relationships in our life. Little kids are our friends, we got older people that are our friends. There's the people that take care of you every time you go to the supermarket. You should be grateful for them. Talk to them. Exchange names. Talk, have a conversation while you're at the counter. There's no reason why. Those guys are good at their job. They do that every day. They can we have complete conversations while I'm checking out at the grocery store. I talk to all my people that work for me. And those are some of the people that work for me. They take care of me at the grocery store, bagging your groceries, passing it all through. I can't even imagine like how many thousands of pounds does a person who works at the checkout of a grocery store lift every day. Those gallons of water, 8 pounds, 8 pounds, 8 pounds, 8 pounds, 8 pounds. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you do this all day long? Their muscles must be like, pow. But just make your life matter. If you think that your life doesn't matter, then make it matter. You are responsible for that. You are. So I love you. Ho'oponopono. Talk to you later. Bye. Adios, amigos.